Hey guys, I'm going to do a little bit differently of a video today. Over the weekend, someone in the comments recommended this channel to me. This is his channel. It's called Zanu Project Rethink. And I have been binging all weekend. This is absolutely insane. He is about to tell it like it is. That's exactly what he does. And I wanted to thank the person who put this in the comments because this is just great. So the woman is about to show him a video of a white man talking to an Asian, and he's concerned that white people are becoming the minority here in America, and he doesn't want that to happen. So she's offended by that. She doesn't understand why that would be a problem or anything like that. And Zanu, this black man here, is going to explain to her why that is a problem, why we are allowed to feel concerned about that. You know, it's not a good thing at all. We can see from other countries that this is not a good thing. So this is a really good video. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it.
Right, so you said you have this video, you sent it to me.
Yeah.
If we can listen to it one more time.
I want to know how it is you voted for Donald Trump when you're so into facts, because his entire campaign is not based in facts. It was all based in propaganda and emotion.
I voted for Donald Trump for one reason only. His policies, if implemented, would slow the dispossession of whites in the United States. If you were to deport all illegal immigrants, if you were to think very hard about letting in any Muslims, all of this would slow the rate at which whites are becoming a minority.
Why are you so worried about the white dispossession of America?
Because I want my people to survive.
The white gentleman is concerned about what he termed the dispossession of white America.
Right.
The Asian young man was saying, but why would you be concerned of the dispossession? And you are saying what?
Why would he be concerned? I mean, don't we all live in America? Whites, blacks, Asians. Why would you be so concerned that, I guess, power is you're not going to have it anymore just because of what? So he's happy because he's assuming that, or not assuming, he believes that the reason why he voted for Trump is so that Trump can carry out these policies that will protect white people in order for them to carry out or to continue to have power, access to certain liberties.
I think we would take away the Trump part because the president is not going to stop the dispossession of white America. But I think the central thing in this argument they had was that the white gentleman is concerned that with the rate of birth, and many people have said this, and the influx of other ethnicities and race, that there will come a time, if it's not slowed down, there will be the dispossession of white America, right? And he went on to say, the reason I'm concerned is because then my children would have no legacy and culture left in this country. We will have no, and I don't see anything wrong at all with what he's saying. No country would allow foreigners. So they say when a tree falls into a river, it doesn't become a fish. Now, I'm a naturalized American, but I'm not going to say that I'm an American. I'm American politically, but not culturally. The Chinese dude was born in this country, and therefore he's American by birth. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't make him American culturally.
Why? Why doesn't it make him American? Doesn't he live here?
No, culturally, I mean. When you talk about white people, the founding fathers of this country were of the same uniform background, WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. They have a culture, a religion, a language, a history, and they want to protect it. This is the home of their children. This is what they built for their children, and you came in as a guest. The guest will never take over a house. Never happen. Number two, I really would support the white man, okay, for the dispossession of white, as he's saying, because you see, he's trying to protect you and I. Because if this country falls into the hands, the majority of the wrong people, whatever attracts us to come here will be gone, and we will never be able to come here anymore.
So you're saying that immigrants wouldn't be able to sustain America or sustain civilization? Is that what you're saying? That we don't have the capacity to do that?
Well, I'm not saying it, I'm only describing it. Have you taken a look at Haiti recently? Would you, even as an immigrant here, want Haiti to become the majority in this country?
I mean, Haiti,
have you taken a look at some of the African
its
countries, Somalia, Sudan, South Sudan, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and all these countries that are flocking to come to this country? If they could maintain where they are to look like this place, then they wouldn't be flocking here, right? So the point the gentleman is making actually is in my interest, in the interest of people from outside who should still have an America they can come to.
But you're only describing developing countries, right? You talked about Haiti, you talked about Somalia, you're talking about other developing countries.
Well, you can see an undertone what he's saying. He will be not.
Well, he also mentioned Middle Easterns. He also
yes, exactly.
He doesn't like. Well, he doesn't appreciate, I guess, Asians, Middle Easterns, blacks,
yes,
or anybody who's not white. So
why do they expect us to? Why? Why would they do? Why? It makes no sense to build America for Africans, for a white man to build America for Middle Easterns, because we're European. That's our culture. That's who we are. It's ingrained in us. They get so mad that not everybody wants to live like Africans and Middle Easterns and things like that. This is European American culture, and you can adopt that and you can still have your culture on the side, but it's always going to be predominantly European American.
You're saying
dispossess his race, yes.
So you're saying that because immigrants are coming into this country, that they wouldn't be able to maintain the white picket fence, the greenery. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, to that, you and I don't have to look very far away at all. Have you taken a look at any black neighborhood in America recently, starting with Boston, starting with Detroit, starting with Baltimore, Bridgeport, Waterbury? Have you seen them?
I mean, I understand those are cities that are failing.
Exactly. Now, if imagine.
So we're blaming it on the black people. We're not putting responsibility or accountability on the city or anything like that.
The city is made up of those people. A city is only with people that live in it. A place is only as good as the people who live in it.
Yep.
America is only as good as it is that attracted people from around the world based on who built it, established it, and maintains it. If we can build and maintain public toilets in our country, we can maintain this complex infrastructure in America. You seriously, as an immigrant, think that if this country falls in the hands of some countries that you have just mentioned, we still have an America that will attract people from West Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, Asia, and all other places?
See, but a lot of black people think that they built America. They think that slaves built America. They say, oh, well, one in five people in New York, back in the day were slaves and they built up New York. They did not build New York. 80% of New York was built by Europeans. And yes, immigrants too, but they failed to mention that the immigrants were Dutch settlers and European indentured servants. They weren't Indian. They weren't Muslim. They weren't African. They weren't Mexican. They weren't any of that. They were white immigrants. So, black people are having this huge battle right now where they're like, black people built the country, not immigrants, and they're pissed off at Mamdani for saying that immigrants built New York, but it was white immigrants. So the slaves that were there that helped build New York, it was before all of the major subway systems, infrastructure, and all that stuff. So they didn't build any of that. Slavery was done by that time. So they really like to stay on this black slaves built America. And it is just not true. It is so far from the truth.
So why is he so even concerned that there's going to be white dispossession when they already own everything? They already maintain everything. What are you afraid of? Why is he...
He's just saying, let's keep it the way it is so people can keep coming here.
No, the reason why people come here is because there's an engine to work. There's not manufacturing anymore, but there are
opportunities.
Reasons. Yeah, there's
and
opportunities.
Who created those opportunities?
Yeah,
the people he doesn't want displaced.
So
they created the opportunity that began to attract the world.
Yes, the European mindset created these opportunities.
The founding fathers of this country, who were later colonized, the United States of America was founded by white people. Yes, they stole it from Indians, fine. Whoever want to say that. They stole the land, fine. We are talking about what it became. It became what is now attracted to the entire world.
How would you describe America right now?
In what sense?
In the sense of who runs America right now?
Who runs it?
Yes.
The administration, you mean?
Not just the administration. So the way he's describing it is he's basically saying, I don't want all of these people here because I want...
No, dispossession of white, meaning that
So it's okay to have all these people here.
But they are here already.
Yeah, they're here already.
Exactly. He's not saying that he's angry that people are here. He understands what immigration means. So he understands that the dispossession means that if these people becomes the majority, my children will have no future. They will have no culture, no language, nothing.
But we bring the culture.
No, you came into my house. My culture was there before you arrived as a guest.
But we're coming with cultures. We're coming with customs.
What people do in other countries, which is
They think that because they're coming here and they're louder than we are and they're more, colorful in a sense of the way they dress and things like that, blingy and all this stuff. They think that means we don't have culture because we don't have that. That is our culture, quietness, and they would call it plainness. If that's what they want to call it, then that's fine. But it's not plain to us, and they can't see that because they don't have the European mindset. They don't have that, so they don't see it. They don't see our culture because they're not us.
What's beautiful about America is this. If you go into somebody, so we have migrants and immigrants, right? Migrants go to a place just to have better life, work, make money, and go home. Okay. Immigrants go to a place in order to have permanent residency. Okay. Now, if you choose to go to a place to have permanent residency, there are two things you need to do, okay, to keep the growth of the country, the development of the country, and whatever it was that attracted you. One, segregate yourself as the Chinese do nicely in Chinatown, so you can protect your own little culture in Chinatown. Or the rest, assimilate.
Okay, but immigrants come here, they work. They build businesses. They're the ones who are the doctors. They're the ones who are engineers.
He's not complaining about that. He's talking about you becoming the majority, which means things would have fallen into the hands of the majority. So, it's all he's concerned about.
So when they fall into the majority, things are just going to fall apart.
Well, we've seen it from where you came from. That's what drove you out to this place. I wouldn't even want somebody to come here. And I'm saying that that this complex infrastructure can only be managed and has been managed for 250 years.
By whites.
That's correct.
And they're the only ones who understand administration. They're the only ones who understand how to maintain.
The country is built on a culture.
So you're saying
without that culture, America wouldn't be.
So you're saying if minorities and immigrants come together and they're working in an administration, they won't be able to maintain a city? They don't have the capacity?
Do you have to ask me that question?
I'm just simply saying because
he tries to let them come to their own conclusions.
Wait, he's not concerned about Germans coming to dispossess whites. It's not talking about...
Because they're already white.
That's correct. It's not. No, he's saying their country. Okay? I wouldn't worry if a bunch of Japanese are coming to my country. I know wherever they would occupy.
Why wouldn't you worry?
Because I've seen where they're coming from. He's not just saying bluntly that no foreigner should come to this country. He said, if you become the majority, my children will have no more culture.
So he also said if the policies that Trump administers will help white people. So how does he even have the audacity to even say it? How does he even feel like it's okay?
That's what I said from the beginning. I'll take the Trump policies out of it because no single American policy. Trump said, I'm going to clean up the country with violent, illegal immigrants. Any country would do so. Now, I'll tell you something. The United States of America, all the way from the 60s, 70s, all the way to the late 80s, was the only country among all the industrialized countries that was very friendly to illegals. America never chased illegals in the streets and sent them out. Never did. In the 60s, ask anyone who lived in Europe.
America has been kind to anyone. European countries have been kind to anyone. Anyone is able to come here and, make the best of yourself. You have the opportunity. The question is whether or not you have the ability to. And a lot of people that don't have the ability to complete tasks and accomplish things automatically point the finger and say, that's white supremacy. Because they can't do something, they want to point it out and say, well, that's why I can't do it. Instead of just simply stating the fact that you do not have the capacity, the ability, the want, the need to get these things done. And a lot of people call everything white supremacy because of that. They just want things to be the way that they want them to be. And that's just not how it is. And if not, then it's white supremacy. I can't achieve that goal, so it must be white supremacy. That is bullshit.
Germany had it, France had it, even the UK had it, Israel had it. You can't be walking around these countries screaming, I'm an immigrant, I'm illegal, and they take you out. Israel doesn't allow it. Many countries don't allow it. Russia doesn't allow it. South Korea doesn't allow it.
Yes, but we have immigrants who are engineers. We have immigrants.
Would you allow, as a Haitian, would you allow Chinese to come to Haiti and slowly seeing that these people wouldn't stop bleeding? They're just breeding and they're going to take over my country. There would be no Haiti. You would be worried generally. You will be worried. No country has allowed any foreigners, immigrants from anywhere to overwhelm the country. They control it.
Okay, I understand.
Yes.
Policy.
So he's talking about, I'm worried. I'm seeing what is going on.
But America is not just for the whites. It's for everybody. It's everyone who can come here and to work and to contribute to society.
The American white institution is what established the naturalization process.
Yes.
It means they own the country. That's why they established the naturalization process to say, you can come in and I'll help you through the process to become a citizen. Well, so it's not for everybody.
Okay.
It's for those who founded it and who have established the culture upon which the country is built. You can assimilate into that culture, or you can establish a little corner somewhere, like the Chinese are doing, the Koreans are doing, the Japanese are doing in LA.
So basically you're saying anybody who is a non-white, just come here and just assimilate and stay in your corner.
Yes.
Because this country is not really your country. This is a borrowed country for you. You're just here.
Borrowed citizenship, like I said, when a tree falls into a river, does it become a fish?
Yeah.
So you can't go to China and be born in China by a Haitian diplomat, and then a black kid will say, I'm Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
People will tend to look at you. You can't go to Japan as a black kid and then say, I'm Japanese because I was born here.
Mm-hmm.
Because saying I'm Chinese is not just a citizenship, it's a culture. Saying I'm Japanese, I'm Korean, that's why they don't allow citizenship.
Mm-hmm. So I was born here, so therefore I wouldn't understand the culture of white America. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. You have to say if you do or don't.
I
They will
believe
understand you, and you will understand it in totality of it. The WASP culture, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, are the founding fathers of this country, right? So there is a culture which is not your culture, but your culture makes it beautiful. That's why they call it the melting pot. But it doesn't melt. It's just a salad. Every color will be shown. The carrot, you see it. The spinach is seen. So you must, if you want to be a good citizen in this country and really help this country, you need to inform yourself that you are I'm a naturalized citizen. I'm not going to be American. To be honest with you, I wouldn't even see America in the same vein George Bush will see it. It's different.
Right. Because they're more about advancing America, always protecting America.
Based on the culture on which the country was founded. The culture is important.
But I want to see America grow. I want to see America advance.
That's it.
Isn't that white culture? Isn't that also? Don't I also understand the white culture? Of course.
You don't have to understand the culture to help America grow, which means you say, I want to be a good guest, so the country can continue.
I'm a guest.
It's up to you to decide. Birthright citizenship. You were born here, therefore you are an American politically, not culturally. That distinction, I want every naturalized or to understand.
So it doesn't matter that I was born here. It doesn't matter that I work, I contribute to society, I pay tax. It doesn't matter.
All that matters.
All of that matters.
Very much. What matters is for you to understand, however, I am still Haitian culturally.
So when I go home at night, what I eat, how I speak, the language that I use is all Haitian, although I live in America.
Is it?
Sometimes.
Exactly. There is no way line dance would ever replace compa.
Exactly.
Okay? There's no way steak and potato would replace, what is the best Haitian food?
Legume.
That's correct. When I came to your place the other day, that's what you served, right? There's no way English would ever replace Creole.
And I think that's why African Americans have such a big problem with European American culture, is because they are living in it, but it doesn't resonate with them. It's not ingrained in them. They are missing this culture that they should have from Africa that they don't have. So they're trying to, and they frown upon Africa. They disassociate with them. They try to be like Europeans in that sense, where we say, no, we don't want to live like Africans. We like the way that we live here. But then they want to be Native American. They think they're the Egyptians. They think that they are all of these different cultures that they're absolutely not. And they are missing that. And I think that that is such a big problem within the African American community. If they would embrace it and try to find, take DNA tests and try to find where their blood and DNA traces back to in Africa, I'm sure they can find, pretty close to the region where they come from. But they don't want to do that because they are trying to embrace European culture, and it just doesn't work for them. So it's a constant battle, I think, they're having with themselves, and they don't even realize it.
But you can remain in America as a Haitian and make it look beautiful while you protect your little culture. Wyclef Jean would never stop talking about Haitian in his songs. He lived in Brooklyn. There's a little community of Haitians in Brooklyn, right? Mm-hmm. Now they want to call it, legally now, call it Little Haiti. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we have Little Haiti in Miami. We
That's
have
correct.
it in
You told me some weekends you do go to Chinatown just to eat dumpling and see their... That's what I'm talking about. That's what makes America beautiful.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That little pocket of segregation is what makes this country strong.
As long as you don't try to make it the main culture. The main culture is European American culture, and that's it. You can still have your little things, but they'll sit there and say the white men are evil, the white man bad, the white men are thieves, while the white man lets them live the way that they want to live here in America, in these small pockets of their own culture. They're allowed to do that.
So you're saying it's okay to have segregation?
By choice, yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't force it. You got to know where you're going and ask yourself, will I fit in? Segregation by choice. The Chinese know that they are extremely different in terms of things they do. So they said, look, we can't just rent everything. So when I was living in Westport, I see this, the lady, my manicurist, right? Snow, 10-inch, they would drive back home. And I asked her one day, why don't you just buy a place in Westport? She said, no, we can never do that. Mm-hmm. Because there is something powerful in identity. We want our kids to grow in America, but not lose who they are. So segregation promotes that. If you have a culture, if you have a monochronic culture, a homogeneous culture, then you can do that. That's why the Japanese are in Little Tokyo in California. That's why Flatbush is covered by all Koreans. In fact, the mayor was begging them to write things in English.
But doesn't segregation create fear?
As a choice. So what, are you afraid of Chinese because they are segregated in Chinatown?
No, but wouldn't it be nice for us to live amongst each other so that we can educate each other?
You do in America already.
Why?
The country is diverse already. You live in America as a diverse country. Now living in your own pocket so you can scream at midnight because we love loud music. So just choose where you fit in. That's all I mean by segregation, but it shouldn't be forced.
So you're saying it's okay to have, so not segregation by policy or laws, but it's only by choice. Like if I decide that I want to live in a Haitian community in Brooklyn or Miami, it should be okay.
Yes, you park your car in front of your house and invite the mechanic to fix it, pour oil on the floor, kids have nowhere to play, hang baskets.
Why are you describing it like that?
Because
as if
it's a culture.
Yeah.
It's a culture.
Yes.
In Caribbean or Haitian communities
then
that it's okay to have a car with oil on the spills on the floor. We do not do that.
Have you seen you've traveled?
I've traveled.
Have you seen any black country? The first thing that greets you across Africa. I've traveled widely across Africa. The first thing that greets you is what? Blight. Streets. We eat and we just throw it out of the car.
That's not true. I've been to so many.
Hold on. Let me explain to you. You cannot say that is true. That is really not being fair. One thing
He said, I'm being fair. They don't like hearing the truth. Some of them don't like hearing the truth, but this lady takes it very well. She does.
Describe ourselves.
But you're saying
one thing we describe ourselves with anywhere on the continent of Africa, even here in America. Black kids don't know how to hold the trash until they get to a trash bin. All across Africa, my country, Benin, everywhere, is you eat and you just drop it out of the car window. That's why plastic lines up the road everywhere. The only thing we struggle with is blight.
I've been to Caribbean
Ghana got
countries.
flooded twice. You know why? People just throw plastics on the road. We do not have effective waste management industries in any African country.
But somehow they will blame that on the white man. That's the white man's fault why they are that way. And he basically gets to the point, you know, you can pick up on it, where he's basically saying that it's just how we are. It's just they are the way they are and we are the way we are. Very touchy subject.
We don't.
And why is that? It's just not part of our culture? Is that what you're going to say?
Yes. We don't separate ourselves from nature. The tree doesn't come down and sweep its own leaves. It just lives with it.
Yeah, so a lot of these problems in these African countries, I believe, is that they are trying to live in an advanced society with all of these things and, you know, gadgets and all of these, you know, all these new clothes and just little stuff, little things that Europeans can take good care of and organize and everything like that. They are trying to live in a modern European, Asian kind of era when they are not quite there yet. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. That's their culture. That's how they are. That's how they want to be. I just think that they would be so much better off if they didn't try to incorporate the rest of the world into Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like, just embrace who you are, embrace your culture, get rid of all that stuff, all that, you know, trash and junk and everything that they're buying that comes from China. Just get it out, because they are not equipped to be able to deal with these kinds of things like the trash and the water. They don't have these systems set up to be able to, you know, bring all of these things onto their continent and country, you know, in a lot of places in Africa. So I just feel like maybe if they could just embrace what they are and stop trying to compare themselves to the white man or the Asian man or whatever, then they would just thrive and be so happy, you know, because I feel like a lot of people struggle because they are just not meant to be in a specific society. They're meant to be in a society that fits them better, but they're trying to fit in this other society that is not, it just doesn't work for them, you know, and then they get mad at it because it doesn't work for them and they call it white supremacy.
Certain things we are refusing to accept about who we are. And that's what is killing us. I'm asking you, what is known about black neighborhoods? Blight, graffitis, grandma's pillow thrown outside, mattress waiting on the street, trash bins everywhere, broken cars line up the streets. You want to say that you haven't seen it. When they say Detroit and Baltimore, what do you think they are describing? Boarded houses with graffitis on it, people with bandanas in street corners selling dope to their own kind. I am not condemning it. I'm describing what is.
Right. Yes, and I've been to Detroit. I've seen it. But it's as if you're saying it and you're like, you're blaming a certain group of people.
Not blaming, describing.
They automatically take it as, you know, you're attacking me. You're attacking my culture. You're attacking my people. But it is just a constructive criticism that people need to reflect on. They need to reflect on it and understand that people say this out of concern, out of, you know, hey, is this the way things are supposed to be? But if we weren't trying to mix societies and they did these things, then we wouldn't look down on them. We would say, you know, that's their culture. That's what they do. That's all right. But because it is being pushed onto everyone else, that's when we say, hey, no, this isn't the right way to live.
Also pointing the finger
No.
that the reason why this is happening is because this particular community resides there. And this is why it's happening.
That's not blaming. That's just
You're
describing.
pointing the finger. You're basically saying.
No, not pointing.
Yeah, it's describing. It's just telling the truth.
Yeah.
You're basically saying.
I say by name, and if you want to prove me, you live in Bridgeport, you live in Milford, you started in Bridgeport.
Yes.
Even your high school, which was a private school, the other public schools, the bathrooms are trashed up. Wash hand basins are broken. We graffiti our own walls. People have to come from other towns to help us pick trash on the streets. We throw trash everywhere. I see them eating Dunkin' Donuts. The music is booming. He winds up, he throws it out.
So therefore, because this is.
Yeah, but they'll say that's because of socioeconomic factors and systemic oppression and everything causes them to act this way because they're poor, and it's the white man's fault. And that's what it says. When you look up, why does Black culture have so many problems, and why are they per capita the highest in and murder, violent murder, mass shootings, and all these things, they blame it on the system, white people. It's just so crazy to me. And he's basically saying, look, this is just how we are. And it's a hard thing. I'm sure that this is a very hard thing to hear.
All happening in our communities, in minority communities. But
multiplied by 100, and that would be the whole country.
So I've seen other migrant communities, and they're clean.
Like which one?
The Middle Eastern.
Exactly. I'm talking about blacks. The Middle
in particular,
Eastern.
you're saying
Asians, yes. If
Black
you've seen,
people don't have the capacity to be clean.
Don't say they don't have the capacity to be clean. I'm saying blighting is a culture. You feel comfortable. It doesn't conflict with your brain. That's why you live in it.
And it's not just blacks, Hispanics.
Well, those are blacks,
Latinos.
light-skinned blacks.
So
you see where you are now, how close the color is?
So you're basically
when you go to the Caribbean, which I've traveled the Caribbean, I've been to Haiti, I've been to Jamaica, I've been to Barbados, I've been to Antigua, the Virgin Islands, Jamaica, and I've been to the Dominican Republic. And you have.
Yes.
You want to tell me that cleanliness in Kingston is the same as in Dominican Republic? No, it's not. Don't think twice. You've been to two places. You're being disingenuous this morning.
You've asked a question, and I want to think about it.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, no, it's not the same.
Exactly. And so what I'm saying is, if it's not a culture, it wouldn't happen. Black countries. So Kenya, for example, has the largest of its kind. Kibera is a slum, the largest, about 5 of them in the city of Nairobi. Have you seen Soweto in South Africa? It's black community, right? And Joburg and all these places. What you see usually in these countries, especially African countries, is blight. We create the dumpster right behind 2 houses. The government never comes to clean it. No.
So
it's just a culture. And so when such people who, because this gentleman, the white guy, have had a window to look into your country, if you're becoming the predominant population, he should be worried, because those are not part of what his culture is. None is right or wrong.
So South Africa is a beautiful place. It's clean. There are parts of it that's very, very clean. We look at Zanzibar in different places, Botswana. There's all these countries, they're beautiful.
Have you been to all their cities? If South Africa, you would say there's... Why?
In Johannesburg?
Yeah, that happened to be the only black country in Africa that has up to 2.9 million whites. Not a single thing was built by the blacks. That's why it looks that way. Bingo, in my story. You see...
Rwanda, Botswana, all these
Excuse me?
They're beautiful.
Yeah?
Zanzibar.
Where have you been to in those places to see?
I haven't, but I've seen online what it looks
in
like.
The same way, I promise you, they can put a lot of pictures from Lagos, Nigeria online. You will think Lagos is France or Paris. It's not the same. I've been around. I've seen things. And I'm saying to you, all of Africa, the one thing even the young generation now are worried about the blight, the plastics and the paper and the trash. We don't have waste management. We don't. Benin doesn't have a waste management. Ghana doesn't have a waste management. Nothing goes to waste. We keep recycling. Our homes, the houses, no drainage. It's open gutters everywhere.
Yes, but I've been to a lot of Caribbean countries, and there are drainages. There are clean countries. I've been to Antigua. I've been to Aruba. Aruba's not a black country. It's a more multi.
Yeah, if you say Bahamas, you see.
I've been to Bahamas.
Yeah, you see 29% of white rich Americans hiding money. They all live there. Bankman Fried, the young boy who took people's money into crypto, he lived in Bahamas. Those houses and everything owned by white people, and the locals.
But you're saying the structure of the country is very white, and this is why they've been able to maintain the country.
That's correct.
But if it was maintained by blacks, Latinos, or any other, I guess, other groups that are non-whites, that they would be incapable of doing that.
Well, you see it here. You see it.
I see it where in Bridgeport. I see it where in
Baltimore,
other...
and Detroit, everywhere. Yeah, we have our specialty and our industries. We have seen it. The thing is, let me say it this way, is that...
So therefore, this white man is right. Is that what you're saying?
No, his concern is valid, is all I'm saying. I am a naturalized person here, but I wouldn't even want my own people to, dispossess the people who built this country that became the only attractive country.
Because
if it wasn't built, then what do you think is attracting people from all over the world? How many whites from France and Germany and America do you see line up at the Haitian embassy begging for visa because I want to be in Port-au-Prince? When barbecue is touching our people's houses, Tonton Makutu kill you in the middle of the night. There's no accountability. There is no human rights. There is no infrastructure. Water is vanished. Nothing. Not because the people are stupid. They don't have the capability. They don't have the capability.
It's just not our culture.
That's what you see is what they have been able to build. That's it. And now when you build this complex infrastructure called the United States, well, you have a problem. You got to look for people who know how to maintain this. Which means those people have to have certain things in their culture. Monochronic cultures, meaning punctuality. If we ask Africans to run this country, wintertime people will freeze to death because they'll be late to come for maintenance for your heater. Because we are from a polychronic culture.
But
we're tardy.
Okay.
Tardiness never runs a complex machine like this.
What are other countries that are like that?
Like what?
That are non-blacks, because it seems like you're pointing it just at black people.
If you know any, just tell me.
No, I mean, you're the one who knows more about polychronic countries.
Polychronic?
Yeah.
India is a polychronic culture.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Africa is a polychronic culture.
So let's say there was a 10 million Indians came to America, an extra 10 million, and they moved to a certain community. You don't think that they would be able to maintain it? Or
as soon as you walk there, you know Indians live here. They are in Kenya, and they segregated themselves in Kenya. So when you walk into Nairobi and you're looking for Indians, you go to Parkland. That's the Indian community in Kenya. They are almost like the 43rd tribe. The British brought them during the slavery. So now they've stayed and they run businesses. They are great in administration, you name it. All the hardware, auto parts, tires, hospitals in Kenya predominantly owned by Indians. Yes.
Frank, this is a hard pill for me to swallow. This is something that I would need to sit down, because we've said a lot.
Let me repeat. I was only saying his concern is valid because he has had a window to look at other countries. He mentioned Muslims. Today, in some parts of the UK, they are biting their finger now, saying we made a mistake. They want to bring Sharia law. Women should cover their head or we whip you in public. France has declared a certain part of Paris as a no-go for the police because the Muslim says they want to practice the same way they practice in Afghanistan.
Yeah, why should we put up with that? Why would we? And because we don't want to, they will say, oh, you're racist because you don't want Sharia law in your country. That's nuts. That is just absolutely nuts.
Women should not do this or we would whip you. Is that the people you want to dispossess you because they...
Yeah, you get stoned for adultery and they're going to take any man's word for it. The man could lie and you are stoned to death. If you steal, they will cut your arm off. They will cut off limbs off of your body. This Sharia law is no joke, and they are playing around with it in New York. And women too. So many white women in videos I've seen them just so happy about it, and it makes me absolutely sick. I cannot believe how dumb they are that they would vote against themselves in such a way. It's just absolutely crazy. These people who are all women's rights, we deserve the same. They would vote against themselves so stupidly. Brainwashed idiots.
They can breathe fast? No, you wouldn't want it. That's all he's concerned about. Yes.
And so his point is valid.
It's valid. Now, being a naturalized American, I'm here to do...
It's valid and he's right. He's absolutely right.
The best I can in the support and promotion of the country that has become a host home to me. I will remind myself all the time. Being minority is not just number. Yes. If I go to somebody's house as a guest for 6 weeks, a month, or whatever time you allow me, I will continue to remind myself that I'm a guest here. And so every day
even
I will
though
do
I
the
tell
best.
you be at home, you know.
Yeah, that's being friendly, they say.
That's being courteous.
When you say be at home, and next thing I see you're lying by my husband in our married bed, and I know you crossed the line. So I'm saying this in all honesty, that we have to take a step back and stop being emotional and say, I'm an American. What does it mean? What does it mean? Yes, you came here when some people have established this foundation on which they want to raise their children, their culture, their language, and their history. It's very important to human beings. We got to understand and respect people where they are. Now, I understand African Americans were brought here not by their choice. Yes, of course. And they have become citizens of this country, right? They have different rights, and they can control different aspects of this country, which they do. Hip hop now, it's more popular in New Canaan than it is in Bridgeport. And that is the beauty of America. But they still have a distinct culture. All right? We don't have cookout quietly. No, man.
No, we have to have the music.
That's correct.
People,
and 5 people
dancing.
are conversing at the same time. We can hear each other. That's us.
That is.
See, but we also have the dancing and the music. It's just quieter. It's different kinds of dancing. And they think that because of that, we don't have a culture. But like I said, they will never understand it because it's just not their culture.
It's us.
Yeah.
Frank, thank you so much for this.
Always.
It's definitely eye-opening. I looked at it very emotional in a sense where why would this guy have the audacity to say this in it's just the way he said it, as if like Trump is here to just provide those policies and to help white people and just to progress them. And that's how I saw it. But I didn't see it from your point of view as, does he have the right to say it? Does he
Sometimes,
have
you know, this kind of videos, right? I don't know how long it was. I don't know the beginning of the conversation.
And we didn't see the whole...
This whole thing.
Right.
But sound bites are very dangerous, and as a media guy, I understand. So sometimes you listen to what he said, and then boom, you go to the extreme. He's racist, he's this. That means you are not really trying to stand in his shoes. Be white in America, the only country that has really allowed the entire world. Look, October this year, 51,000 people from around the world are going to win the diversity lotto and come to America. We haven't closed it. My niece just applied for it. It means the country is willing to diversify itself. But when you walk in, know that I come from a culture when we call each other across 3 houses, okay? Some people, they like quiet neighborhoods. If you're going to move there, don't expect, and we've said this in the last video you and I did, I moved to a 99.99% white town, 9 miles from Bridgeport. And my African friends here will be like, how is it? I said, how is what? You came to a white country. I just moved to a white neighborhood. You are in the white country. Whatever I would do there, I should also do it as being in the country. So I know what they don't do. I watch their manners. You know, body language in multicultural communications, like my fat Greek wedding. Have you seen that movie?
Right.
Yes.
Where
everyone wants to be, you know, and hug and, you know, pick you up and kiss you and drink and all that. Even drink from the same glass. It's a culture. We do it. We sit on each other and eat from the same bowl. And you see how they're going, wow, how can you all eat from the same bowl with your hands? It's a culture. Don't condemn it. But when you come to another country with that, be aware of the predominant culture. And that is what peace and being a good citizen is about.
Yes.
Yes, this is powerful. Thank you, Frank.
ZPR.
It really is, you know, and it's exactly that. The way you should act when you come to a predominant culture, when you're in another country. And I think he handled this very well, and she took it very well. I know a lot of Black people, when they're faced with these kinds of questions and these kinds of facts and things like that, they take it as such a, you know, a stab, like, oh, you are just, you know, you are belittling me, you are coming after me. And that says more about what you think about your culture than anything else. You know, if you feel like this is bothering you and you feel like it's an attack, maybe that's something that you need to reflect on in your own thing. But like I said, he said a lot of things that, you know, I probably wouldn't be allowed to say. I know I try to get some things through. And I'm sure a lot of you know what I mean, because, you know, we see it, we're living in it, and you guys pick up on what I'm trying to say. But he just did really good at this, and I was absolutely impressed. So once again, his channel is called Zanu Project Rethink, and he has all kinds of different videos. A lot of them, the people do not agree. And there is one specific man, African man, but he keeps referring to American history and American policies and things like that. And it's just really funny how the rest of the world, they are so influenced by American culture and history that they take it as their own. But Zanu puts him in his place. He really does. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I did. It was just absolutely amazing. And I will say the cliche word, refreshing, to see this and to see it taken so well. Tell me what you guys think. I would really like to know what you guys have to say about this. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Rumble, Twitch, and X. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.